Hello and welcome, myself Rehan Ali, and in this video or in this series of videos I'm gonna show you how can we approach to write the code in C programming language for printing the different types of patterns. Just for the side note, we can write our code in any programming language to print the same pattern. There is just a different of the syntax only. So for the demonstrating purpose, we'll write our code in C programming language here. But in the description of this video, you will find the link where I have uploaded source codes of the patterns in these 4 programming languages such as C, C++, Java and Python. And also for writing and executing our programs, I use VS Code or Visual Studio Code. You may use any IDE of your choice, but if you want to set up your VS Code for running C and C++ programs, you can watch this video that I am showing in iCard button above. You will also find the same link in the description of this video. So yeah, enough talks, let's get started. Alright, so in this video what we are gonna do is to write the code to print these square patterns, namely solid square, hollow square with cross and hollow square with diagonal. But before dive into it, what I want to do is to provide you some basics or the fundamental tools, and these tools will eventually become the basis for printing any kind of patterns. So now there is a concept of looping in programming languages. The loops are nothing but the iterative tool or structure that allows us to repeat the execution of some instructions till the condition stays true. We'll see this in action in a while. So in C programming language, there are basically 3 types of loops such as for loop, while loop and do while loop. Although we can write our code by using any of the loop listed here, but in this series of videos we'll write our code by using the for loop because it's easy to understand as all the 3 parts we'll find at the one place. See the syntax of the for loop here. It basically contains 4 parts, but the last part is the obvious one because eventually we need to execute some statement there. But these 3 parts such as initialization, condition and steps are the crucial one. First we'll see these parts in theory and then we'll see their practical implication. Here the first part is initialization. As the name implies itself, this part is basically used for initializing our loop, or we can say that this is nothing but the entry point of the loop. Now the second part is the condition. As the name suggests, there would be some conditions that will track whether the loop should continue its execution or should terminate it. If this condition evaluates to true, it means that loop will keep running, and when this condition becomes false, loop will get terminated automatically. Also, you have to keep this in your mind. For breaking or terminating our loop after having done intended tasks, we must need to tweak this condition in such a way that at some points it becomes false. Otherwise, loop will running for a lifetime, and this condition with respect to loops is also known as infinite loop. Means the loop will keep running infinitely, and for achieving this purpose of terminating the loop in between, the third part comes into the picture. This third part is nothing but these steps. Here we twist some value of the variable that is used in our condition part by either incrementing or decrementing its value, so that at a particular point the condition will become false and the loop will get terminated. Alright, I know that this theory is very abstract, but don't worry if you haven't understood any of the part or the whole explanation. Now we'll see this in action by doing some practical work. Okay, so here we are gonna write these 2 programs first to better understand the working of the for loop. So first program is to print the table of any number, and the second program is for printing the tables of these numbers from 1 to 10. So this is the syntax of the for loop, we already seen it, but here I numbered it as they executes. We'll see this in a while. Like first initial part will execute, then we check the condition. If it's true, then execute statement inside the block. Then either increment or decrement this value and again check the condition and follow the steps as before. And when this evaluates to false, loop will terminate itself. So here I written solution of first problem as we discussed. This is the table of 7. We can change this value to print table of any number. But writing code like this is not efficient, and also this is very time consuming. You may think that you can write this printf statement in this way also, but again it is time consuming and also less efficient. You may argue that for this particular example efficiency doesn't matter. I completely agree, but what if I tell you to print the same table 100 times? Instead of multiplying this table of value from 1 to 10, but now I want our output to be printed as multiplication from 1 to 100, as this. Will you write this code in the same way as we wrote earlier? Or will you try to find some better way to structure it? I'll choose the second option. Now we'll see how we can write solution of this problem using the for loop. Here, I first declared a variable start of data type integer and also the end condition variable to make it clear where to stop. Now I initialize our for loop by assigning start to 1. Here I declare some conditions as start is smaller than equals to end condition. I'll tell you in a while why I am giving this condition. Then we will increment start value by 1 as start equals to start plus 1. Then write these printf functions inside this for loop. In this way, now let's give it a try. We get the same output as before, but this time using our for loop. Now we'll see how it works. This part only runs once. After initializing, loop will never visit this part again. Here we are assigning value of start variable as 1. Now we check the condition as whether the start is smaller or equals to end condition. Yes, it is, because end condition has the value 10 and 1 is smaller than 10. Then we execute each statement inside the for loop block. Here we only use one statement to print the value of start variable. After executing all these statements, loop will visit to this part. Here we are incrementing value of start by 1, hence now value of start is nothing but 2. Then again check this condition. This time also the condition is true only, cause 2 is smaller than 10. We again execute a statement inside this block and print the value of start. This is why we get value as 2 printed here. And again increment value, then check the condition and execute our block, and so on. Now after printing 10, when we increment the value of start, it becomes 11, and now when we check this condition, this time it is false as 11 is not smaller or equals to 10. This is where our for loop get terminated. We can easily cross check it by printing a start value after our loop. Now run the code and see the output. Here you can see that value of start is 11. Now we get better understanding of working of this for loop. Also here as we only interested to increment this value by 1, so instead of using this syntax, we can use shorthand increment operator. This simply means that we are incrementing this value by 1. Now we can multiply our table of variable with the value of start to get our actual result. And I also want our result to be printed as a single column, or we can say vertically instead of printing it horizontally or in a single row. For this purpose, I'll use line break character here inside printf function. Now we get our output like this. Alright, so now we already understood the loop. We'll solve our second problem. This output looks something like table, in which these all are rows and these all are nothing but the columns, as you can see here. In our previous example, we already printed our output as a single column. Now revisit that example. Here we are printing this in a single column and multiple rows, for example 10 rows. To get this clear, we will append some equal sign here and then run this code. As you can see now, this output is clearly visible as rows and columns, means in the form of table. This equal sign here, we need to print the table of that particular number, like table of 1 here and table of 2 here and table of 3 here and so on. This problem we already had solved. What we did there, we had used for loop and run it 10 times as like this. This type of loop in which the loop is inside the loop is also known as nested loop. If you run this code, we get output something like this. Now we are very closer to the solution of our second problem. Here again, as we did before, we'll print table of these numbers. Now run this code. Congratulations, we did it. We are successfully write our code for both the problems. But here we make some improvement though. As we know, eventually we are gonna print the table of these numbers, and these numbers are nothing but the number of rows. So instead of using this table of variable, we can simply use start variable here. And to be more specific, I'll change these variable names as like this. Here we are using row val variable for each value of row. Similarly, col val for each value of columns, and num rows to define the number of times the outer loop should run, and num calls to define the number of times the inner loop should run. For simplicity, I use these two variables, num rows and num calls. but as we know that both are containing the same value, we can use num rows here too instead of using these num columns. Alright, enough talk. Can we guess what type of pattern we already printed here? Absolutely right. We printed our solid square pattern. We just need to print here asterisk or star symbol instead of printing this value. Now when we run this code again, we get our solid square pattern printed. Now let's move to print the next pattern. Alright, so as we already write our code to print the solid square pattern, now we'll see how can we write our code to print this hollow square pattern. Here the number of rows are 7, where the value of row will vary from 1 to 7 and the value of column will also vary from 1 to 7. Now if we analyze this problem, we can simply say that print stars or any pattern symbol if and only if the value of column is 1, and also for the last value of the column, and in this case it is nothing but the 7, which is same as our number of rows. Similarly, this is also true for values of rows, as you can see in this picture. If this is not the case, print the spaces instead of printing the pattern symbol. This type of behavior, for example executing some part of code only when the particular condition is true and executing another part when it is false, can be achieved by using the conditional statement as like this one. Here if block will only get executed when the value of some condition variable evaluates to true, otherwise else part get executed. So now let's write our code for this example. Here this code is written for printing our solid square pattern. I just add this pattern symbol variable here so that we can change value of this variable to print any symbol. Now as we already derived our condition for printing hollow square pattern, we will use those conditions here. This is how if blocks will looks like. Here inside this if block, we'll use these for conditions in this way. These are nothing but the OR operators. You can find some links in the description to get more into it, but these operators are used for separating multiple conditions, and when either of these conditions evaluates to true, this if block get executed, otherwise these else blocks will get the chance to execute its statements. Let's run it. We will get this output because we haven't write any statement inside the else block. But as we know that other than these values we need to print spaces, therefore here inside this else block I'll use one printf statement, or we can say printf functions, to print these spaces. Now run it again, and yeah, we get our output. Here we return our code to print hollow square pattern. Now let's see the next example. Now we'll see how can we approach to write the code for printing this pattern. Here also the number of rows are 7. By carefully looking this picture, we can conclude that this pattern is very similar to this one that we already printed earlier. Only this part is different here. It means that all the conditions of the hollow square pattern will also be valid for this pattern. Now we just need to find some way to print these two parts there. These both values are approximately half of the value of num rows, as you can see here. But in C, when we perform any arithmetic division on integer number, it will round off the decimal values and return only the integer part, as I am showing here. Now looking at these values, we can easily construct our remaining conditions as like this. It means that we need to include these two more conditions with our four previous conditions inside the if block. That's all. Now we already derived all the conditions that will sufficient to print this hollow square with cross pattern. Alright, so let's see how can we write our code for this problem. Here this is the code that we wrote for printing hollow square pattern in our previous example. Now as we have these two more conditions here, just write these conditions inside this if block in this way. And yeah, now run the code and see the output. This is nothing but our hollow square with cross pattern. Now let's write our code for the final pattern. Alright, so finally we reach here to print this last pattern. As before, these four conditions will remain the same since we need hollow square here too. Now we need to first focus on this part of the pattern. Here we can clearly see that the pattern symbol is printed or the star is printed only when the value of row is same as the value of column. Means print pattern symbol when the value of row val is 1 and the corresponding value of col val is also 1. Similarly, when the row val is 2, col val should also has the same value as 2, and for row val 3 the corresponding col val should also be 3, and so on. It means that we found our first extra condition that will look something like this. Now we only need to derive our second condition to print this diagonal. Consider this figure here. We need to find some condition to print the star at these places. Is there any similarities between these values that will become our base condition? Let's see together. Here, when the value of row val is 1, corresponding value of col val is 7. Similarly, for the row val 2, col val is 6, and for the row val 3, col val is 5, and so on. It means that in every iteration, value of row val get incremented and the value of col val get decremented. Consider these values here. We need to find some relation between these values. Let's give it a try. As we can see here now, for row val 1, col val should be 7, or we can say it is same as the number of rows, that is 7 right now. Our first equation looks something like this. Here we need to use both variables row val and as well as col val because our condition will depend on both of these values. Let's do dry run on it. For row val 1, col val is 7 as it is same as num rows because adding and then subtracting the row val, only num rows will remain the same. Now when the value of row val is 2, but this time we required col val as 6, means this condition will not work here. Now we derive our second condition like this. Why I am doing this all? Because at the end we need to find some condition which will relate these both variables. Only then we will be able to print this diagonal. Alright, so here when the value of row val is 1, col val will be 7. That's good. But for row val 2, col val again fails here because we get col val as 8 instead of 6. But looking at these values, what we can do is instead of adding row val to num rows, we can subtract it from the num rows. In this way, let's dry run it. For row val 1, col val is 7, it's fine. And for row val 2, col val is 6, and this is what we want here. And again for row val 3, col val is 5, and so on, means we found our second condition by using this relation between them. So now we can say that this is our second and the last condition. Here I just swapped these parts to make this more readable. Now let's give it a try. Here again I am using the same code which we had written for our hollow square pattern. Now I just include these two more conditions in this if block. Just run it and see the output. Congratulations, we did it. We successfully wrote our code to print these square patterns. Thanks for the patience. In this tutorial, we'll see how can we write code to print these 4 patterns. As you can see here, we'll first draw solid rhombus and then the hollow rhombus with cross, and the last one hollow rhombus with diagonal. So now without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, so before writing our program to print rhombus patterns, I highly recommend you to please watch the previous tutorial in which I have shown you how to draw different types of square patterns, as the rhombus pattern is the next step of square pattern. You can find the link of that video on top right corner, or I have also included the link of that video in the description of this video. Alright, so I assume that you had already finished that tutorial. Now let's start it with this one. This is the square pattern that we drew earlier. Now we'll see how can we write our code for printing this rhombus pattern. Here in square pattern, we have number of rows as 7 and also number of columns as 7. Similarly, in rhombus pattern, we have number of rows as 7 and also number of columns as 7. But in rhombus, we print this extra part here. This part is nothing but these spaces. For better understanding, see this figure. Here, instead of printing spaces, I printed hashed symbols. Consider these separate parts as col values. You will get this idea very soon, but by looking this figure, we can simply count the number of spaces required. The value of symbols or spaces is varying from 6 to 1. Like in the first row, number of spaces or hash patterns required are 6, and in the second row it is 5, and similarly in the third row it is 4, and so on. By looking at this problem, I have two approaches in my mind to solve it. One by using if-else block and the another one is by using one extra for loop. We'll write our code here by using both of these approaches. Basically, I am talking about this part. Here the outer loop will be same, but this part will be changed by either using if-else block or using one extra for loop. We'll see this in a while. So let's see the first approach. Here the number of rows are 7, but number of columns are varying from 13 to 7. We can say that the outer loop will be same as before, like this one, because we need number of rows as 7 here. But in this part we need to make some changes, because now instead of running this loop 7 times as we did before for printing square pattern, now for each value of row we want this part to be run from 13 to 7. Like here, when row value is 1, call value is 13, and when it is 2, call value is 12, and so on. And this value 13 is also depends on the number of rows. For example, if number of rows are 7, the value of column will vary from 13 to 7, and when the number of rows are 9, this value will be vary from 17 to 9, and also when the number of rows is 5, call value will vary from 9 to 5. You will get these things clear in better way by looking these two more outputs here. By looking at these values of columns, we can clearly see that the values of the first rows are nothing but the doubling the value of num rows minus 1. But we can't use this condition as it is here, because if we use this condition here, we get the same values for each rows. Here it is 13, but we want this value to be decrement each time by 1. For this purpose, we have to use some dynamic variables here, which will vary from 1 to 7. We can use some temp variable as this and increments its values after printing each row. This will definitely works. But here in this example, instead of using extra temp variable, we can use our row val here, because this value is also varying from 1 to 7. It means that our final condition will look something like this. Now we have to use if-else block to print these two different parts. Here in if block we'll print spaces, and in else block we'll print stars. Here also value of spaces is varying from 6 to 0, because last row doesn't contain any space. So here, same as this condition, instead of multiplying it by 2, we can use this condition here. It will vary from 6 to 0. This is what we want here. That's it. Now let's write our code for this. Here, this is the condition that we derived earlier. Now run this code where value of num rows is 7. Alright, so we get our rhombus printed here. This will work for any values of num rows. Now change this value to 9. Let's see how it is printed. Again we get our rhombus printed here. And yeah, this is our first solution to solve this pattern. Now let's see our next solution. Here this code will be as it is. This is the code that we had written for our solid square pattern in our previous tutorial. As we have to print these spaces before this pattern symbol, we'll use another inner for loop to do this job, as like this one. It simply means that instead of running this for loop for each row, now we'll use one extra loop that will also run for each value of row. Here order of these loops matters. Therefore, first loop is responsible for printing spaces and the second loop is responsible for printing pattern symbol. For printing spaces, as we know that when number of rows are 7, spaces for first row are 6, and then for the row value 2 or the number of rows is 2, we have to print spaces 5 times, and for value of row as 3, we had number of spaces as 4, and so on. It means that we can write our condition as like this. We already wrote this condition while solving this problem by using if block. Here for row val 1, this loop will run 6 times as num rows are 7 here, and for row val 2, this loop will run 5 times because 7 minus 2 is nothing but the 5, and so on. And yeah, this is nothing but our second solution of this pattern. Let's give it a try. Here we include this condition. Now run it, and yeah, we get our rhombus pattern printed here, but this time using this extra for loop. Alright, so we just need to add this for loop in our next patterns, and as you already written code for these patterns in previous tutorial, such as hollow square with cross and hollow square with diagonal, you can simply modify them by adding this extra for loop in those patterns. as I am showing you here in this one. You can also find the link in the description of this video from where you can download source codes of these patterns. And hello and welcome, myself Rehan Ali, and today in this tutorial we are gonna write our code for these triangle patterns such as solid triangle, hollow triangle with square inside, and hollow triangle by using 4 hollow pyramids. Alright, so let's get started. Here I am assuming that you are already familiar with the for loop syntax and its uses. If it is not the case, you can watch my first video of this series in which I have explained how the for loop actually works and what convention we are using here. You can find that video above in iCard button and also link in the description of this video. Alright, so now let's see how can we write our code for printing first solid pattern. Here number of rows are 7, but in each row column value is different. As you can see here, for row val 1 col val is also 1, for row val 2 col val is 2, and for row val 3 col val again same as row val, and so on. Looking at this condition, we can say that the inner loop or the column loop will runs once when the value of row val is 1, and when it is 2 this inner loop will runs 2 times, and for row val 3 inner loop will runs 3 times, and so on. Our for loops will look something like this. And yeah, that's it. Let's give it a try. Here first we need to declare these 4 variables. This numRows is used for the number of times the outer loop will runs, and row val is for each value of row, and col val is for each value of columns. This is our for loops. Here this outer loop will run 7 times as number of rows are nothing but the 7 here, and this inner loop will runs value of row val times, as when the value of row val is 1 the inner loop will run 1 time and print 1 symbol here. Similarly, when this value of row val is 2, inner loop will runs 2 times and print 2 stars symbol here, and so on till the row value 7. Let's run it, and yeah, this is nothing but our solid triangle pattern. Now let's see how can we approach to write our code for the next pattern. Here in this picture we numbered it like this, and according to these numbers we will drive our conditions. This pattern is very similar to this one, which is nothing but our solid triangle, but here in hollow triangle instead of printing stars all over, we print stars only in these parts. It means that we need to use some conditions here to print this pattern, and this condition we write here in this if block to print stars or pattern symbol only when this if block evaluates to true. So now let's drive our conditions for this if block. Here a star is printed when the value of col val is 1, so our first condition will look something like this. And also here we are printing stars for the last value of row, and this last value of row is nothing but our numRows. So our second condition will look something like this one. Now we only have to drive our last condition for printing this part. Here by looking these corresponding values, we can say that print star when the value of col val is same as the value of the row val. As you can see here, star is printed when row val is 1 and also the corresponding value of col val is 1. Similarly, when row val is 2, col val is also 2, and when the row val is 3, col val is also 3, and so on. So our last condition will look something like this. And yeah, these 3 conditions are sufficient to print our hollow triangle pattern. Let's give it a try. Here, this is the code that we wrote earlier for printing the solid triangle pattern. Now, in this pattern, somehow we need to include these conditions to restrict this loop to print stars or pattern symbol only when the conditions are satisfied. For this purpose, we'll use here our if block as before and put these conditions inside it in this way, and write our printf functions to print some stars or pattern symbols. And yeah, that's it. Let's run it. Alright, so here we successfully write our code to print this hollow triangle pattern. Now let's write code for the next one. Alright, so here this pattern is very similar to this one. It means that these 3 conditions are also valid here. We just need to have some conditions to print these parts here. By carefully looking at this figure, we can see that this line is printed when the value of Rowell is 4, and also this part is printed when the value of Caldwell is 4, as we are making one general solution for these patterns. For example, if we use our condition as it is, it will work only when number of rows are 7. But if we change this number's value to any number, let's say with 9, we get some weird pattern printed here. So instead of hard coding this condition, we have to find some dynamic conditions. So by looking at these values such as Caldwell 4 and Rowell 4, we can say that these values are nothing but the half of the numbers, or approximately half of the numbers. But as we know that dividing numbers by 2 in C language returns only integer values. In this example, this value will be 3 after rounding. But the value that we required is 4 here, so we can simply add 1 in this value, and we can derive our condition as like this. This is it. Now as we already derived our all condition, let's write our code. Here I just add these conditions inside else if block. I use this else if block to make our code more readable and avoiding our if block to be more lengthy. So let's run this code. Here we get our third pattern printed. Now let's write code for the last one. Here this pattern is also very similar to this one. We just found this extra part here. So here also all the conditions of our previous pattern will be valid. Means we just need to find some conditions to print this part here. So here the value of this first star is like this. Print star when Rowell is numbers divided by 2 plus 1 for getting at this point, and then again plus 1 to get at this place. Means we can rewrite this Rowell as numbers divided by 2 plus 2 to point at this row. And also for any number of rows, this call value will start from 2 only. So here instead of checking only one individual condition, this time we need to check these two conditions. Means print this star if and only if these both conditions evaluates to true or returns true, otherwise do nothing. So for creating this type of condition, we have another logical operator in C language such as an AND operator. This AND operator returns true only when both of the conditions returns true. For example, if we write our condition is like this, these conditions will only returns true if both of these conditions returns true. I'll also provide you some links in the description of this video from where you can learn about these operators in more details. So here now let's write conditions for printing these stars. Here row value is numbers divided by 2 plus 3, and also call value is 3, and this will be same for each values of rows. Means each time Rowell and Caldwell get incremented by 1. So by looking at these numbers as they are same here, we can use one temp variable here as like this, and this temp variable will always start from 2 as we know that, but this value is only increment, so I will initialize it by 2 and use this variable here. And after each row increment this temp value by 1 as it is incrementing here, but this value is only incrementing when these conditions are true. So let's give it a try. Here I again use this extra else if block, and this is the main purpose of using the else if block here. It means that according to some specific conditions, we make our further decisions. Here the decisions that we want is to increment this value of temp variable only when we execute this part here. If we increment our temp variable here for each value of row, we will definitely get some weird output. So I hope you get my point. Let's try to run it, and this is the output that we want here. Let's change this value to 9 to check whether it is printing the same pattern as we expected, and again we get our intended output printed here. Congratulations, we successfully wrote our code for printing these 4 patterns. Hello and welcome, myself Rehan Ali, and today in this tutorial we are gonna write our code for printing these triangle patterns such as solid right triangle, hollow right triangle and hollow right triangle with lines. Alright, so let's get started. First we'll write our code to print this solid triangle. Before going ahead, please watch the previous tutorial for printing left-sided triangles, as this pattern is the next step of the left-sided pattern. You can find the link above and also in the description of this video. So now I assume that you are able to print this pattern. This is nothing but our left-sided solid triangle that we draw in our previous tutorial. As like here, in this pattern also we are printing stars in each row, as for row val 1 print 1 star means inner loop will run only once for row val 1. When row val is 2 print 2 times stars, as you can see here. Also for row val 3 print 3 stars and so on. So we can use our previous code to print this part. We just need to find some way to print these white spaces in front of our previous pattern. So for this purpose we can use another for loop here to print these white spaces. Now to understand this problem in better way, instead of printing these white spaces here, I'll print some symbols here. See this output. Here we are using hash symbol instead of white spaces. Now we can solve this problem very easily. Here we have number of rows as 7. So for first row we have to print 6 hash symbols, or we can say 6 white spaces. Then for the second row we have to print 5 white spaces, and for the third row 4 white spaces has to be printed, and so on. Means for printing spaces we can start our second inner loop with row num_rows -1, because for first row we need 6 white spaces, but for the second row we need our inner loop to run num_rows -2 times, means 5 times, and also for third row inner loop should run num_3 times, and so on. It means that we have to use some temp variable which will increment by 1 each time, like this. But here, as the row val is also giving us the same value, such as 1 for first row and 2 for second row and 3 for third row, and so on. So instead of using this extra temp variable, we can use our row val here as like this. So this is how our final inner loop will looks like for printing white spaces. Let's give it a try. So this is our code. This for loop is responsible for printing spaces. Let's run it, and yeah, we get our solid triangle printed here. Now we'll see how can we write our code to print the next pattern. Here this pattern is also similar to this hollow pattern. We are just adding some white spaces in front of this pattern. So just add this for loop in front of this hollow triangle pattern to get our intended output. Let's see. Here this is the code that we written for our previous tutorial. We just need to add this extra part here, or extra for loop here, to make it right-sided hollow triangle. Let's run it, and yeah, this is our right-sided hollow triangle. And now let's see our next example. Here this pattern is also same as this hollow pattern, just we need to add these extra horizontal lines here. Here number of rows are 9. By looking at these values we can see that these lines are printed when the value of row val is odd. For example, we printing these extra lines when the value of row val is 3, and also for row value 5, and again for row value 7, and so on. So we can derive our this condition as like this. Here we are using modulo operator. This is an arithmetic operator that returns the remainder. For more on these operators, you can find some links in the description of these videos, as we know that whenever we divide any number with 2, it will either completely divisible by 2 or partially divisible by 2. When the number is completely divisible by 2, it means that the number is even, otherwise the number is odd. Here we are using that concept only, so let's write our code here. Alright, so this is the code for printing hollow triangle. We just need to add these extra conditions here. Now run the code, and yeah, we get our hollow triangle pattern with these lines printed here. Congratulations, we did it. We successfully wrote our code to print these patterns. First we'll write our code to print this solid triangle pattern here. For making it more visual as a programming point of view, I drawn these lines here for separating each rows and columns, and you will get this idea very soon. I'm using these words like rows and columns because we already had discussed these terms in more details in our square patterns tutorial. If you have any doubt and confusions, you can watch my first tutorial of this series in which I have explained all the things and also written codes for printing different types of square patterns. You can find the link at the top right corner, and I also include the link in the description of this video. Alright, so enough talks, let's begin with this pattern. Here, these blue lines are used for separating each columns, like this is column 1, this is column 2, and this is 3, and so on. And similarly, these yellow lines are used for separating each rows. Now, our outer loop will run 7 times, as numbers are nothing but the 7 here, and this value of row will vary from 1 to 7 in this case. As you can see here, row is changing from 1 to 7, and also for each value of row, inner loop will run different number of times. For example, when row is 1, this inner loop will run 7 times and prints these 7 stars. But for row 2, this inner loop will run 6 times, and for row 3, inner loop will run 5 times, and so on. Means each time the value of column is varying, or we can say that this value is decrementing by 1 for each value of row. As for the first row, inner loop is running 7 times, and this value is similar to our num rows. We can use value of num rows as our initial value for printing these stars. Let's see this through the code. Here, first we need to declare some variables as like these. Variable num rows is used for defining the number of times the outer loop will run, row val for each value of row, and col val for each value of columns. I use this char data type variable pattern symbol to set the symbol to be printed. You can change this value to any very symbol to print pattern of that particular symbol. Now we'll write our outer loop to print each rows. I use these printf functions including this line break character to make our output looks like this. Here, as you can see, each row is printed on its own line or on a new line. Now for printing these stars here, I will use one extra temp variable and assign this variable the value of num rows as like this. And after printing each row, or for each time when this loop completes its execution, we'll decrement this temp value by 1. This allows our inner loop to run as for the first row, this temp value will be 7, means for the first time, this inner loop will run 7 times, and for the second row, this temp value will be 6, and this allows our inner loop to run 6 times. Because before going to second iterate of the outer loop, we are decrementing this value by 1, and again for the third row, temp value will be 5, and so on. Now let's run it, and yeah, we get our expected output printed here. But here in this example, I want to make some improvements. Instead of using this temp variable, what I can do is I can run this loop in reversed order to get these values as 7, 6, 5, and so on till this value becomes 1, and use this row val for running our inner loop as like this. This loop again runs 7 times, but this time it will run from 7 to 1, and now we get the same output without using any extra variable. And why this is working? Because row val for the first time will be 7, as we are initializing it with the num rows. Then after running this inner loop 7 times, row will get decremented instead of incrementing as in our previous solution. So now this value will be 6. Then we run this inner loop 6 times and again decrement this value by 1, and so on. Alright, so this solution will be our base for next 3 patterns. Now let's see the second pattern. Now here in this pattern, we only need to print these parts, and other than these parts, we just need to print spaces. We already had seen this in our previous examples. So for printing this part here, as here value of col val is 1 for each stars, we can drive our first condition as like this. Similarly, for printing these lines, we have value of row val as 1, as we can clearly see it here. Therefore, our second condition to print this part will be as like this. Now for the third part, as this value is nothing but our row val, for example, we print this star when col val and row val is same. Here when row val is 6, col val is also 6. Also to print this star, col val is 5 and row val is also 5, and so on. Means our third condition will be row val is equals to col val. Now these are all the conditions that we require to print these parts here. Or for printing hollow triangle, let's include these conditions in our code. This is the code we written earlier for printing our solid triangle. Now we just need to add these conditions here to make it hollow triangle pattern. This condition will look something like this. Here we are using this OR operator for separating our multiple conditions. This OR operators allows if block to execute when either of these conditions are true. You can find some link in the description of this video to learn more about these operators. Now run it and see the output. We get our output as this because we haven't printed anything for the else part. Here, as we know that other than these values we have to print spaces. So I simply add one printf function here that will be responsible for printing spaces when this part gets the chance to execute. Now when we run this code, we'll get our required output. This output is nothing but our hollow triangle. Let's see the next pattern. Now as this output is very similar to our hollow triangle pattern, here only these parts are added. So for printing this pattern, we just need to add some more conditions in our hollow triangle to print this new pattern. So here we'll use our previous code with including some extra conditions. Let's see what are those conditions. As these both values are nothing but the half of the numbers, we can use our both extra conditions as like this. We already had used these conditions in our previous examples many times. It simply means that when we divide our numbers by 2, it will return value 3, as value of numbers is 7 here, but our requirement is 4. Therefore we add one extra into these returned values. Let's write these conditions in our code. So here this is the code that we written for printing our previous pattern, that is nothing but the hollow triangle. Now I'll add these two more conditions here. Here I'm using one extra else if block to make it more readable, but you can also include these conditions in this if block also by separating them with OR operator. Now let's run it and see the output. And yeah, this is nothing but our third pattern. Now let's see our last pattern. Here also we'll use our previous code and add some more conditions to print this extra part. As you can see here, when we subtract our core val from the row val, we get value 3 for the each row. For example, here for printing this star, value of row val is 6 and value of col val is nothing but the 3. Now when we subtract this value from row val, we get our output as 3. Similarly for printing this star, row val is 5 and col val is 2. Now again subtracting col val from the row val, we get 3 only as a result. We are doing this because at the end we need some conditions to print this part here. So according to these results, we can build our last condition as like this. As we already seen it in our previous example, dividing row val by 2 returns 3. So this condition will be valid and that's it. Now we just need to include this one extra condition in our previous code to print this last pattern. Let's see how. Here I include this condition in this else if block. We can also use one another else if block for this condition if we wanted to, but I just include it here. Now let's run it and yeah, this is the code to print our last pattern. You can find the source codes of these patterns written in C, C++, Java and Python from the description of this video. So here also this pattern is very similar to this one which we already had solved in our previous tutorial. Only this extra part is there because here in both of these patterns we have the same requirement or the same feature, such as in both of these patterns we need to print the same number of stars in each row. For example, for this first row 7 stars are printed as you can see in both of these patterns. Similarly for the second row 6 stars are printed and for the third row 5 stars are printed and so on. Therefore, the code that we had written in our previous tutorial for printing left-sided triangle, we can use that similar code here too. We just need to add this extra spaces part only. So let's see how can we do that. Here in this pattern, for the second row 1 space is printed and for the third row 2 spaces are printed. Also for the fourth row 3 spaces are printed and so on. You may notice that for the first row there is no any extra space. So for printing spaces before printing these stars, we can use one another for loop as like this in our previous code. Now we have to run this loop different number of times for each row. So as you can see, for the first row this loop will not run, and for the second row this loop needs to run 1 time, and for the third row it should run 2 times and so on. So for this purpose, first I'll use one temp variable and assign this to value 0 as like this, and increment this value by 1 each time here. So for the first time when this loop will run as temp value is 0, this loop checks whether col val is smaller and equals to temp. Here this condition will return false as col val 1 is not smaller or equals to value of temp 0. So only this loop will run first time. Then after printing these 7 stars, we are incrementing this temp value by 1. Now for row val 2, again we check whether col val is smaller or equals to value of temp. This time condition is true as 1 is smaller or equals to 1. Then we print this extra space and then increment this value by 1. Now col val is 2. Again condition will return false because temp value is 1 here. Now we again print these 6 stars and increment this temp value by 1 and doing the same things and so on. Means for the third row this loop will run 2 times and for the fourth row this will run 3 times and so on. If you are unaware of working with the for loop, you can watch my first tutorial of this series where I have explained all about the loop and also written our course for printing different types of square patterns. Alright, so run this code and see the output. Here it is, we get our intended output printed. But here we can also use some other condition to avoid using of this extra temp variable. We'll use our numbers and row val for this purpose as like this. Let's first run it to see the output. We get the same output as before but this time without using any extra variable. Let's see why these conditions work. Here for the first row val is 7 and also numbers are 7. So when we subtract this row val from the numbers, we get 0 as 7 minus 7 is nothing but the 0. And this is the value that our temp variable was also containing for the first row. Now after printing first row as this value is decrementing, now the value of this row val is nothing but this 6. Again when we subtract this row value from our numbers, we get 1 this time as 7 minus 6 is nothing but the 1. And in this way this condition is sufficient to print these spaces as we needed here. So now as we done with this solid pattern, we'll see our next pattern. So now for printing this hollow pattern, we have our conditions as like this. Means we have to print stars only when row val is equals to numbers. Here it is 7 and when col val is 1 because each time this col val is starting from 1 only, and the last one this value is same as the row val. As you can see here, this row val and col val is always same. Means when row val is 6, this col val is also 6, and when row val is 5, this col val is also 5 and so on. So these are the conditions that we need to print this hollow pattern. Now let's write them in our code. Now run it to see the output. This output is nothing but hollow triangle pattern. Now let's see how can we write our code to print this last pattern. Here also as we already had used this condition to print these lines, those are nothing but odd numbers of rows such as 7, 5, 3 and 1. So we can use this extra condition in our hollow triangle pattern to print this last pattern as like this. So now run it and yeah, we printed the last pattern of this tutorial. You can download the source code of these patterns from the link that I have provided in the description of this video. In this video, we are gonna write our code for printing these pyramid patterns such as solid pyramid, hollow pyramid and hollow pyramid with cross. So without any further ado, let's get started. Here we'll first see how can we draw this solid pattern. For printing this pattern, we have to use 2 inner loops here. First inner loop is to print these white spaces and the second inner loop to print these pattern symbols, or we can say the stars. And one outer loop is used for number of rows to print both of these parts. This structure will look something like this. This loop will print white spaces and this loop is responsible for printing these stars or any pattern symbols. Now let's write some condition to print these two parts. For getting idea of printing these spaces, just see this picture. Here we are printing hash symbols instead of printing white spaces. The value of these hash symbols is varying from 6 to 1 for number of rows as 7. Like for the first row, there are 6 hash symbols has to be printed. And for the second row, these symbols are nothing but the 5. And for the third row, these are 4 and so on. So as we already derived this condition in our previous tutorial of right-sided triangle, we'll use that condition here also. That condition was look something like this. Here as number of rows are 7. So for first row, this condition will allow our inner loop to run 6 times as 7 minus 1 is 6. And similarly for the second row, inner loop will run 5 times and so on. And this is the behavior that we also want here. So this is our for loop for printing these spaces. Now let's make some condition for our second inner loop to print these pattern symbols here. So as we can clearly see here, for first row 1 star is printed, and for the second row 3 stars are printed, and for the third row 5 stars are printed, and so on. As this value is incrementing by 2 each times, for this purpose we can use some temp variable here as like this. Here we assign this temp variable with 1. It means that for row 1 this inner loop will run once only, and then before going to our second row we are incrementing this value by 2, means for second row temp value will be 3, and similarly for the third row this value will be 5, and so on. Alright, so we already done with making these conditions. Let's give it a try. Here this is our code. This part is used for printing spaces as we seen earlier, and this part is responsible for printing these pattern symbols here. Now run it, and we get our solid pyramid printed here. Now change these num values with any odd number, let's say with 9. Again run it, and we get the same output. Now let's see how can we draw our second pattern. Now for printing this hollow pyramid we have to use some conditions here to restrict it to print stars only on these places. Here for this purpose we have to use if else block. If part will contain some conditions that will use to print only this part here, and else print the white spaces, as these are nothing but the white spaces. Here as Colwell is always starting from 1, means in this part here is nothing but Colwell 1, because for each row this value is starting from 1 only. So we can say that our first condition is nothing but this one, means print stars when Colwell is equals to 1. Now also Colwell is ending when this value is equals to temp value. For example, when temp value is 3 we print 3 stars here. It means that Colwell is same as temp value at this part. Therefore our second condition is this one. Now for printing this part, this is nothing but our last row, means we can use our third condition as like this. Like when row value is equals to number rows, print stars, and other than these values print white spaces. That's it. These are all the conditions that we need to print this hollow pyramid. Let's write our code for this. Here we use this if block containing our all the conditions separated with an OR operator. These operators allows these blocks to run when either of these condition is true. Otherwise this else block will get the chance to execute. Now run it and see the result. And this output is nothing but our hollow pyramid. Now let's see how can we approach to write our code for the next pattern. Alright, so for printing this pattern we require these 3 conditions to first print hollow pyramid as like this. Now here we need to find some more conditions to print these parts. So for printing this part, as this value of row is nothing but 4 here, and when we compare this value with our number of rows, it is approximately half of the values of num rows. Therefore we can make our first extra condition something like this, and this condition we already derived in many of our problems earlier. So I am highly recommend you to please watch previous tutorials if you have any doubts in these conditions. Now let's drive our second extra condition to print this second part here. Now if I numbered it like this, we can say that these stars are printed when the value of Colwell is same as the value of Rowell, such as when Rowell is 2, this star is printed where the value of column is also 2. Similarly, when Rowell is 3, this star is printed when the value of Colwell is also 3, and so on. According to this relation, we can derive our final condition as this one. Now, as we already derived our all conditions, let's write our code for this. Here, this is the code that we written for our hollow pyramid. Now we have to use these 2 more conditions here to make it hollow pyramid with cross. I'll use one extra else if block here to make it more readable. Now run it and see the output. And this is nothing but hollow pyramid with cross pattern. Congratulations, we did it. We successfully wrote our code to print these patterns. In this video, we are gonna write our code for printing these reversed pyramid patterns such as solid pyramid, hollow pyramid with cross. And so without any further ado, let's get started. Here in this pattern also we'll use 2 inner loops as like this. First loop is responsible for printing white spaces and second inner loop is used for printing our pattern symbols or stars. So for printing these spaces, we need to run our first inner loop from 0 to 6. Means for first row there is no any space printed. For the second row we print one space there, and similarly for the third row we are printing 2 white spaces there, and so on. As there is number of rows are 7, our outer loop will run 7 times as like this. Row value is varying from 1 to 7, like for first row value is 1, and for the second row it is 2, and for the third row value is nothing but 3, and so on. So we can use our condition as like this. Means for row value 1, this loop will not run because call value is 1 here, and 1 is not smaller than 1, and this is the behavior that we also want here. Now for row value 2, this loop will run 1 time as 1 is smaller than 2. And similarly for row value 3, this loop will run 2 times, and so on. Means our first inner loop for printing white spaces will look something like this. If you are unfamiliar with the working of the for loop, you can watch my first video of this series in which I have explained how the for loop actually works. You can find the link of that video above in icard button here, or you can also find the same link in the description of this video. So now let's drive some condition for our second inner loop to print these pattern symbols here. Here for first row call value is 13, means 2 times values of the number rows minus 1. And for the second row this value is 11, similarly for the third row this value is 9, and so on. If we carefully analyze these values for each value of row, call value is decremented by 2 each time. For example, for first row it is 13, but for the second row this value is 11, and also for the third row this value is 9, and so on. So for simplicity we'll use one extra temp variable here and assign it this first value of row, here it is 13, in this way, and now decrement this value by 1 for each row. We can write temp equals to temp minus 2, or we can use this shorthand notation here. That's it. Now this loop will print stars as we needed here. Let's give it a try. Here, as we discussed, I declared this temp variable here with the value of 13 in this case after evaluating this equation, and this is the loop that we made for printing spaces here, and this loop is used for printing stars here. We are running this loop number of times defined by the temp value. So for the first row this value is 13, then we decrement it by 2, so for the second time it is 11, and so on. Let's run it to see the output. Here it is, we get our reverse pyramid printed here. Now let's see our second pattern. Here this pattern is like this one, but here we just need to print stars in these parts only, and for rest of the values we print white spaces. So for this purpose we can use one if else block here in this way. Here when some conditions are true, print stars or these pattern symbols, otherwise print white spaces. So for printing this part here, we know that each time this loop is starting from 1. See this part, so we can drive our first condition as like this. Means print stars when call value is nothing but the 1. Similarly, we are ending with this temp value here, and this temp value is nothing but these values such as 13, 11, 9 and 7, and so on. So our second condition will look something like this here. Now we need to print this part here. So this part is nothing but our first row, as you can see here. So our last condition will look something like this. So we need to print stars only for these particular values, other than these values print the white spaces. That is why we have used this if else block here. This if else block will contain these conditions. That's it. Let's write our code for this pattern. Here this is the code that we written for printing solid pyramid. Now we'll replace this part with the conditions that we derived earlier as like this. Now let's run it, and yeah, this is nothing but our hollow reversed pyramid. Now let's see our next pattern. Here as we can see, this pattern is very similar to this pattern, only this extra part is printed here, means all the conditions of the hollow pyramid is also valid for this pattern. Now let's drive some more conditions to print this extra part here. Here if we see this value is nothing but half of the temp value, but as C language returns a rounded integer value, this value will be like these 6, 5 and 4. But here our requirement is to print stars in these places, so we can simply add 1 to these values to get our task done. So we can say this is nothing but our first extra condition. Now this part is also similar. Instead of considering column values as before, these values are rows here. So this is also approximately half of the num rows. We can use this condition for printing this part here. And yeah, these are all the conditions to print this specific pattern. Let's give it a try. Here in this code we have to add these 2 more conditions. I'll use one else if block here to make it more readable. Just run it and see the output. Congratulations, we did it. We successfully wrote our code to print these patterns. Thanks for in this tutorial we are gonna write our code for printing these diamond patterns such as solid diamond, hollow diamond and hollow diamond with cross. So without any further ado, let's get started. Here first we'll write our code to print this diamond pattern. These 2 parts are nothing but these spaces, and if we see these 2 parts, these 2 patterns are nothing but our solid pyramid and the reverse pyramid patterns, and we already had written code for these patterns. So in this tutorial today I'll provide you 2 possible solutions, and then in the next video you will find some more solutions of this diamond pattern. So for our first solution, what we are going to do here is to merge these 2 patterns to get our solid diamond pattern. So let's see how can we merge these 2 patterns. So these 2 are the code that we had written for printing pyramid and reverse pyramid pattern. Let's run them one by one to see their outputs. Now first run this pyramid pattern code. This is our pyramid pattern, and now let's run this part. This is nothing but our reverse pyramid pattern. So here we'll make some changes in this pyramid code so that we can print our diamond pattern, as this part is responsible for printing our pyramid and this part is for printing reverse pyramid. We'll copy it from here and paste it here as like this. It means after printing pyramid, just print this reverse pyramid. But before running this code, we have to make some changes here, as we are using this temp variable here too. When this loop get finished, temp value will be 15. You can check this value by just using this printf function here, but for printing this reversed pattern we have some another requirement, such that for this pattern this value should be 13 for number of rows as 7. So what we can do here is we can subtract 2 from this value to make it 13 in this case, or we can simply reassign this value by using this statement that we are using in our this pattern. Either of these conditions will work here. So let me comment one condition here. Now run it, and yeah, this output is very similar to diamond. But we don't want this extra line to be printed here, as this line is making our diamond pattern ugly. So for eliminating this line from here, what we can do here is, instead of assigning this temp variable with the value 13, we can reduce 4 here from the temp value to make it 11 in this case. Now let's run it again. Now we have another problem here, and this problem occurs here because here in this part there is one space printed, but here we started our pattern without any spaces. So to print this extra space in this line, we can change this condition as like this. Now we are printing spaces for each rows. Let's again run it, and yeah, this is nothing but our diamond pattern. This pattern is completely fine, but what we did here is we doubled our number of rows, as number of rows are 7 here, but this pattern has the number of rows as 13. We can use this pattern as it is, there is no any doubt. But if we want to be more specific, we can also print this pattern in only 7 rows. Let's see how we'll modify it. Here, as this loop is used for printing these 7 rows and this loop is used for printing these 6 rows, so what I will do here is I declare this extra variable here and assign to it the value as this. So this is 4 right now, as number of rows are 7. So here we'll run this upper loop 4 times and this loop 3 times, as this is needed here. So I'll replace this num rows with this new num rows variable. This will also be same here, but here instead of assigning this variable as it is, we first reduce its value by 1 as like this. because we want this part to run 3 times, and that's it. Now let's see the output, and yeah, we get our intended output printed here. Now we'll see our second method to print this diamond pattern. Here for second solution we'll use numbers as 7. So as now you are well aware of this pattern, I'm not gonna go in much detail to explain each parts here, but I'll definitely let you know if there is any new concepts arises. So here as we can see, for the first row value of spaces are 3 and the value of stars is nothing but the 1, and for the second row the value of spaces are nothing but the 2 and the value of stars are 3. And similarly for the row 3, space is 1 and number of stars are 5, means here the value of stars is incrementing by 2 and the value of spaces are decrementing by 1, as you can see here by looking these values. But after row val 4, this behavior is completely opposite. Here when row val is 5, 1 space and 5 stars are printed, as you can see in this picture. Similarly when value of row val is 6, 2 spaces and 3 stars are printed, and so on. So for getting this kind of behavior, we can use these two variables with their initial values. As for the first row, we need 1 star and 3 spaces, one for printing spaces and the another one for printing stars or any symbol patterns. So our code will look something like this at the present, but as we know that these values of spaces and stars are changing differently. For example, for this part, spaces are decrementing but the stars are incrementing. Similarly for this part, the values of stars are decrementing and the values of the spaces are incrementing. So we need some condition here, and according to that condition we either increment or decrement these values. So by looking at this figure, we can say that this part is used as a separator, means before this, like the top part, we have these conditions like we increment stars value by 1 and decrement space by 1. Similarly for this part, we are incrementing space value by 1 and decrementing stars value by 2. So this separator line is nothing but the row val 4 or row number 4. So we can use this value as our base condition, means when row val is smaller than or equals to 4, do this, and when row val is greater than or greater than 4, do this. So now our code will look something like this. Here we are checking this condition after printing each row. Now run it to see the output. It seems like we made a mistake. Yes, we did. As we know, we are coming here after printing first row, so we have to reduce this value by 1, means instead of 4 we have to use value as 3 here. Now again run it and see the output, and yeah, we get diamond pattern printed here. But this code will only work properly when the value of numbers are 7. Other than this value, this code will not work as we expected. Let's change this value to 9. After running, we get this output, which is surely not looks like a diamond, and this is because we had used this hard-coded value as 3 here. So now instead of using this hard-coded value, we can replace 3 with this part. Here this will calculate our value dynamically according to our numbers. That's it. Now let's give it a try, and yeah, this is our second solution. So for next two patterns, I'll use this code as a base. So yeah, let's see how can we print our hollow diamond. Here, as this pattern is very similar to this one, here also we have to make some changes in this part of the code. Instead of printing only pattern symbol, we'll print both pattern symbols as well as spaces, and we can achieve this by using this if-else block. When some conditions evaluates to true, we execute this if block, else we execute this else block. So now let's drive our condition to print this part only. Here, as we know, this value is always starting from 1. Say this here, we can say that our first condition will look something like this, and also this part is printed because of the last value of the call val, and this last value of the call val is nothing but our this value, which is nothing but number of pattern symbols. So our second condition will look something like this, means print stars when call val is same as num pattern symbols, else print spaces. So let's give it a try. Here this code is written for our solid diamond pattern. We just need to add our condition part here as like this, and now let's run it, and yeah, we successfully get our hollow diamond pattern printed. Let's see the next one. Now as this pattern is also very similar to this one, we need these both conditions here too. Now we just need to find some condition to print this part of this pattern. For printing this line, as we already know, this line is nothing but our numbers divided by 2 plus 1. We have seen this in our solid pattern, so here we can use this condition to print this part. Similarly, this value is nothing but our num pattern symbols divided by 2 plus 1. So now we found our these two extra conditions to print this pattern symbol. Let's code it. Here this is the code for printing our hollow diamond. We just need to add these two more conditions here. I am using this else if block here only for making this code block more readable. We can also include these conditions in this if block by separating them with this OR operator. Let's run it, and yeah, we get our hollow diamond pattern with cross printed here. Congratulations, we did it. We successfully wrote our code to print these patterns. Thanks for the patience. Today in this tutorial we are gonna learn how to print these sandglass pattern and their alternatives. So let's get started. So first we'll write our code to print this solid pattern, as I had shown you two solutions for our previous video in which we had written code for diamond pattern. Here also I'll provide you two possible solutions. Then in incoming videos we'll discuss some more alternatives ways to write code for printing this sandglass pattern. So let's see our first solution. Here in our first solution we'll build this pattern by merging again these two patterns as like this. If you are unaware of these patterns, these are nothing but solid pyramid and reverse solid pyramid patterns. You can watch their explanation in above videos, and I also had included links for those videos in the description. Alright, so let's see this method through the code. Here we wrote this code for printing pyramid pattern. Let's run it. And this code is nothing but our reverse pyramid pattern. Let's run it too. Alright, so as we can see here, this part is nothing but reversed pyramid pattern, and this part is our pyramid. So for merging these two codes, we have to write our reverse pyramid code first and then our pyramid code. Let's see how. So here this part is responsible for printing reverse part of this pattern, and this part is responsible for printing this part of the pattern. So we can cut it from here and paste it here as like this. Now first let's run it to see the output. And yeah, somehow this pattern is very similar to this one, but not exactly. So for making it to look as perfect sandglass pattern, we have to make some changes here in this code. As this line is extra printed here, for eliminating this part from here, we just need to start it from 2. So we just need to change this value with 2, and also we have to change this temp variable, which is nothing but the 1 here. So we have to change this 3 because we want this part to be printed first, and we have to eliminate this part. Alright, so let's run it, and yeah, this is our sandglass pattern. One side note, instead of starting it from 2, you can also subtract 1 from here also, but then you have to make some changes in this part. Let's first see what output we are getting. Yeah, we get this output because in our previous method this loop prints 5 spaces, as this row well at that time was started from 2, and this is what we wanted here. But now when we are starting it from 1, this loop will run 6 times, which is why we are getting these 6 extra spaces printed here. So we also have to reduce this value by 1 as like this. Now run it, and yeah, again this is our solid sandglass pattern. As it is clear now I again change this value to start from 2 and cut this part also. Alright, so now similar to our previous pattern, we can also print this pattern in only number of rows times, and here number of rows are nothing but the 7. Basically I am talking about these lines or rows. These lines are nothing but the double of our numbers, which is 7 here, and this pattern consists 13 rows that are approximately double of our numbers. So what we want here is we want our output to be printed in only number of rows times as defined by our numbers variable, and that is nothing but the 7 right now. So for achieving this, what we can do here is we can halve the values of these numbers in both of the for loop, but instead of doing this here in these loops, I'll declare one extra variable as like this and assign this value to it. This value is nothing but the 4, as numbers divided by 2 returns 3 here. Now we'll replace numbers with this new numbers variable here as like this. Now this loop will run 4 times, and here in this way, by reducing this value by 1, because we want this loop to run 1 less than our first loop, in this case it is 3. That's it. Now let's run it, and yeah, this is our first solution of printing this pattern. Now we'll see our next solution. So here for our second solution, I am taking numbers as 7. See this output here. For the first row, number of space is 0 and number of stars are 7, which is nothing but our numbers in general solution, as numbers are nothing but 7 here. Similarly, for the second row, number of spaces are 1 and number of stars are nothing but the 5. And for the third row, number of spaces are 2 and number of stars are 3. And for the fourth row, number of spaces are 3 and stars is 1. It means that number of spaces are incrementing by 1 each time and number of stars are decrementing by 2 each time. But from row val 4, this behavior get completely opposite. Means here number of spaces are decrementing by 1 and the number of stars are incrementing by 2, as you can see in these values. So what we can do here is we can use these two variables here. Num spaces is for number of spaces and num pattern symbols for number of stars. I assign them their initial value as space equals to 0 and stars are nothing but the 7 for the first row. So our code will look something like this at the present. This loop will run 7 times, as we want our number of rows as 7, but these values are dynamic in behavior, means value of these variables will be changed according to some conditions. Let's first see what are those conditions. Here, as we can see in this part, when value of row val is smaller or equals to 4, we had these conditions where we are incrementing space value by 1 and decrementing stars value by 2. So for this, we can write our code as like this. We already had discussed this condition in our previous tutorial, so now our final code will look something like this. Let's run it, and yeah, this is our second solution for this pattern. And as I said, I am gonna discuss some more alternatives ways in our next videos. You can also check 10 plus ways of printing patterns playlist to find some more patterns alternatives. Alright, so now let's see our hollow pattern. So here for printing this hollow pattern, we just need to add some conditions in this part of the code. And as you already know that this code is nothing but our solid sandglass pattern. So for printing this part of the pattern, as we know, this value is always starting from 1. So these value are nothing but our call val 1. Therefore our first condition will look something like this. Again, for printing this part of the pattern, these value are nothing but our num pattern symbols. As for the first row, this value will be 7, and because of this only we get these 7 stars printed. Similarly, for the second row, this value is 5 because we are reducing this num pattern symbol value by 2 each time. And as this value is 5 here, we get these stars printed, and so on. So we can say our second condition will be this. Similarly, for printing these two parts, row val is 1 for this part and row val is 7 for this part, which is nothing but similar to our num rows. So our final 4 conditions will be these. Let's include these conditions in our code to see the result. Now run it, and yeah, this pattern is nothing but our hollow sandglass pattern. Now let's drive some more conditions to print this last pattern. As this last pattern is same as this pattern, these 4 conditions are required here too. We just need to find one extra condition to print this part of the pattern. So if we carefully see this value is nothing but num pattern symbols divided by 2 plus 1. Let's see this here. As we know, this num pattern symbol divided by 2 plus 1 is nothing but the 4, because the value of num pattern symbol is nothing but the 7 here right now. Similarly, for second row, as num pattern symbol is nothing but the 5, this value will be 3, because we know that for integer division, C language round off the value and return only the integer part. And here this value is nothing but the 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3, and we also want this value to be 3 here. Similarly, for the third row, this value is 2, and so on. So we can use this one extra condition in our previous code which we had written for printing our hollow sandglass pattern. Let's see how can we do that. Here I'll use one else if block to include this condition. We can also write this condition in our if block, but I am using this extra else if block to make it more readable. So now let's run it. And yeah, this is our last pattern of this tutorial. Congratulations, we did it. We successfully wrote our code to print these patterns. Thanks for the patience. If you like this tutorial, please click on the like button and share it with your friends. Also subscribe the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to never miss out any incoming videos like this one. And that being said, see you in the next video.